Guten Tag and buenos dias from sunny California. My name's Jared. This is going to be a podcast, vlogcast type of a deal. I have recently become interested and involved in the cannabis industry, and I don't know that much about it. I don't know that much about what's going on, about business ventures, gadgets, legal stuff. I know enough, but I would like to do my homework, and I figure there's a lot of you out there in internet land who are in the same position, just wanting to know a little bit more and kind of keep up with news and stuff like that. So that's what this is. We'll go on this little journey together about seeing if we can find out a little more about the industry. So hopefully this is helpful to you. I should be coming out with these on a weekly basis, if not more often, so we'll see how it goes. This is tobacco, by the way. It's not always tobacco. Today it is. New study. Scientific study. Everybody knows science is always right. This does look promising, though. It's a small study out of Israel. There's only 21 people involved, so the actual predictive power of it is very small. However, the headline, smoking marijuana causes complete remission of Crohn's disease. No side effects. So, it caused complete remission in 5 of the 11 subjects. And another 5 had their Crohn's disease symptoms cut in half. So, it looks promising, but again, it's a tiny little study in another country. Who knows who's running these things? You just never can tell. However, it is really nice when studies like this come out, because who knew that marijuana had lots of health benefits? Who could have predicted it? It's a big old surprise. Business news. 7-Eleven will soon be carrying CBD products. There is a company in Denver, of course, called Phoenix Tears. And they came out with this. I mean, the reason this article exists is because they made a mistake in their press release about how they're in a partnership with 7-Eleven, and 7-Eleven didn't like it. And I'm not sure why, because they are going to carry the products, but the Phoenix Tears company had a deal with Market Hub, a distributor for 7-Eleven. So technically 7-Eleven has no dealings with Phoenix Tears, the CBD producer. However, the end result is still that they're going to be CBD products in 7-Elevens. I'm not sure why the distribution is, if it's going to be legal states or medical states or everywhere. We will see. If anybody knows how that's going or has any news about that, just leave a comment below or contact me. So it just looks like they made a major mistake in the way they worded their press release. So I think that's a big deal for new companies in this space, this marijuana industry space, is that we need to look professional. We need to look like we know what we're doing. Phoenix Tears is a good name for a company. I really like it. I think that's one of the better names that I've seen, because there are so many that have cannabis this, cannabis that, and they're almost childish, like we're trying to make a pun out of a word. Even this podcast is called Higher Quality News. But I think because this industry is growing up quickly, I think it behooves us all to look professional, to have good names for our products, to be pretty slick about it, and kind of get all our ducks in a row, dot the I's, cross the T's, and put on a good face for the world, because there are a lot of people who still don't care for this. And being grown up about this whole industry and being good business people can help change that. Speaking of, in California, just up the road from me, a few hours, the Bureau of Cannabis Control, which oversees retailers, distributors, testing labs, and micro businesses, issued an order to Weedmaps, which I think all of you know Weedmaps. I think they're based in Southern California, but it's you know what Weedmaps is. They ordered Weedmaps to take down unlicensed marijuana dispensaries and delivery services, and they refused, which I think is a perfectly legal move. I'm sort of a libertarian-esque guy, and I think that that's just fine. However, I think as a branding move, that was poorly decided, because, like I said before, I think this is a new industry, and to give ourselves the legitimacy that we want, you can say, you don't have jurisdiction here, and we don't have to do that. But we will, because we want what's best for the consumer and the state. I think that would have been a better move. So there's some free branding advice, Weedmaps. My consulting fees do not cost very much. You can contact me. Yeah, so this will play out how it plays out. I'll be interested to keep watching this story. But I think they could have made a better move. They could have said, you can't control us, but also we're gonna help you out. I think that would have been good. Another thing that everybody should keep their eye on is Canada. Later this year, I think they're going to be legalizing countrywide recreational marijuana, which is going to get crazy. The other thing that you have to remember about this law that they're going to pass, which I think I'm understanding this correctly, is that they're going to be able to export marijuana. So it's going to get crazy up there. There are companies who are going to go public or have already gone public, and this one company, the Cannabis Wheaton Income Corporation, they basically offer what they're calling a streaming service, which may be common for other agricultural businesses, but basically they'll help you finance your grow or refinery, and then you offer them a very discounted portion of your product, so they get to make profit on some of your product for a pretty long time, I think. So we'll see how people respond to that. They have a lot of money to throw around. They just spent like $40 million buying up a grow facility. Yeah, a couple grow facilities. Good Lord, there's so many square feet they're putting in. However, to get all this money and the investments, they had to dilute the company a lot. So we'll see how they do. I'm a little skeptical about some of these companies. I mean, who's running these companies? I mean, this is such a new industry. You hope that people who have gone public with companies and done this before in other industries are running this, instead of just random guys who jumped on the train, you know? Oh well. This is the Wild West, folks, so I mean, it's going to get crazy out here for a while in this little market space. And last but not least, well, it's least, there's a little rosin press that you can buy. It's $600. It produces some good looking stuff. What's it called? The Avid Dabber? So, rosin bomb It's the rosin bomb. It's like 13 pounds, sits on your desk, and you get to press your own rosin. Apparently it's pretty good. It's kind of cool that stuff like that exists. A little expensive, but if you're real, you want to get artisanal and do all that and become a connoisseur, that's probably the way to go. Anyways, thank you if you made it all the way through the stuff that I just said. So, we'll keep an eye on these stories. Please subscribe. Higher Quality News on Instagram. Higher Quality News. If you have a podcast app that you like to listen through, you should be able to find it on there. And here on YouTube, please subscribe. See you guys next time.